Well, hello everybody. Step right up. Come on down to my card table today and welcome to Tips and Tricks Thursday, where we might be doing a little card trick today. So welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us on Facebook and YouTube. This wonderful Thursday morning where the rain is coming down and you just want to curl up with a little bit of a cup of tea or some hot cocoa or a nice cup of coffee and join us on Facebook and YouTube today. So for all of you people that do join us, thank you. Big thumbs up to you. Love, that's what you give us. And we really appreciate it. So thank you very much for bringing us loveliness. Oh, I have Rocio E on. Hello, hello. Thank you so much. I kind of look like an Italian waiter, but I'm actually supposed to be a card dealer because we're doing a card trick today. So thank you. And just want to remind you that we're trying to get to that 10,000 subscription on Facebook. Oh my God, we're like only 300 away. I am so excited. I want to thank you all so much for going to Google, finding okay, now I forgot what it is. YouTube, online, going in, opening it up, and searching for mysewingroom.ca, D-O-T-C-A, and subscribing to us, and ring the bell. That gives you notifications of when we go live, which is absolutely wonderful. So I see another one of our fellow contestants coming up. I see we've got Ruth, we got Glenda, we have Ratio. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Anyways, thank you and welcome, welcome, welcome. So I have a few shout outs before we get started on our card trick today. So I'd like to say hi to Ruth, who's online, Mary Zed, Carol D, Annette W, Glenda, who's online, ooh, Val S, Nancy C. Oh, I see Peggy N joined me now. I had you on the list, but I'll do it early. Peggy, Carol Ann M, Michelle G, Tina B, Loanne F, and Jean J. All right, I have a couple of announcements. First of all, I was hi to Vivian H. Vivian came in and asked me about So Powerful Purses. This is the Giving Tuesday that we do once a month to make purses for young people in Africa so that they may carry their valuables with them and go to school. So Powerful Purses. It is on April 22nd, because I believe Anne's got classes the first two Tuesdays, so this Giving Tuesday will be April 22nd. And I just wanted to mention, and I will call Viv later and just remind her, that this is an ongoing project. So if you have some purses that you need to bring in, please bring them to the store. Anne is arranging transport to the place they need to be, and we're going to keep this as an ongoing project for her Giving Tuesday to make the purses. So that's what I have. Okay, Viv? And I will talk to you later. Now, I just want to remind everybody about that too. Carol G was in yesterday, and she's already signed up for Giving Tuesday. So thank you, Carol. So there is somebody already signed up. And if you want to do Giving Tuesday, then you need to give us a call so we can reserve your table. It doesn't cost anything. You bring your stuff. You work here with some wonderful people, and you get some lovely purses made for people who really need them. Anyways, it's April 22nd, and thank you, Carol, for already signing up. Also, I would like to say a special shout out to Carol G's granddaughter, Alex. Hello, Alex. Oh, I'm so excited to see the younger generation following in our footsteps, learning how to sew, to quilt, to serge, to make garments, to do all sorts of fun things. And Carol would be a great person to teach her granddaughter how to do that. So special shout out to Alex today, and thank you so much. All right, so that's that. So let's get started with our card trick. Are you ready? You gotta know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. All right, that's the way we start off our card trick. And may I show you what the finished block looks like. Here it is, card trick. It's kind of fun. And the dimensions I give you end up making a 13 by 13 inch block. So if you want lots of blocks, or a couple of blocks to make a table runner, or make a really cute centerpiece, maybe something fun for your card table. Anyways, this is the card trick, and we're going to work on it today. That's our goal. We're going to try and make one of these. All right. So let's actually see what we're going to need for today. So let's have a look at the top down. Of course, we're always going to need our ironing board and iron, so we have to be careful that's on. We are going to need some fabrics. And you guys may recognize some of my batiks. I just needed 4 strong colors that would show up against my white background, or setting squares or triangles, whatever you want to call them. Setting triangles, I guess they are. And so I picked these ones out of the pile. We are going to need, of course, a ruler to cut and a rotary blade. We need our mat. We need some scissors to trim. We also need some Mary Ellen's Best Press or Flatter, whichever you prefer to work with. And of course, we're going to need some thread. And I have pulled, this is Wonderfil's Athena, which is the 60 weight piecing thread. So these are kind of the things that we are going to need to do our card trick today. And of course, I've pulled a sewing machine for us. This is the Bernina B475 QE, and I have put on the 1/4 inch foot because we are going to make 1/4 inch seams, and I've set the stitch length. We have the needle down, and I think we're ready to go with it. All right, so let's get started. Let's go back over to our pieces. All right, just going to move some of this stuff out of the way. So the first thing you're going to do after you've selected your fabric is to give it a good coating of either Mary Ellen's Best Press or your Flatter, whichever you prefer, and then you're going to give it a good press. That way the fabric stays nice and straight, so all of your blocks, rectangles, are going to be nice and even and straight. So Mary Ellen's Best Press or Flatter. So we did that to our existing fabric. All right, so and you can see that I have selected very bright batiks and a nice cream to offset them all. All right, and then I found out after I cut the blocks, I only have enough for one set of blocks, so I had to use a different cream. But so you'll see a slight difference when we do the magic of the camera. Anyways, these are the fabrics. All right, I'm just going to set those aside for the moment and give you some cutting instructions. All right, so from your background fabric, you have to cut out 3 blocks. For each of your big blocks you make, you need some squares. So the first square that you need to cut will be a 1, just want to make sure this is 1, the only 1 block you need, 5.5 inch square. And this square will be for the 4 rectangles that go in the corners to offset. So we need a 1 5.5 inch block. And then what we're going to do with that nice 5.5 inch block, if I had a bigger, longer ruler, we could do it, is to cut it into half. And I don't have a long enough ruler. I kind of wrecked that one up, didn't I? Anyways, where is my little 1/2 inch guy? Let's just pretend. Okay, so I'm going to start here. I should have brought a bigger ruler. Move it down to the corner. So this is the 5.5 inch block, and we're going to cut it into 2 triangles. Oops, can't see that. Okay, there they are. Make sure they're nice and pressed. These ones are going to go on the block, and they're on a bias, so you got to make sure you don't stretch them too much when you stitch them, but there they are. So that's the first thing. You cut one 5.5-inch block and you cut it into 2 triangles diagonally. Okay, the second thing you cut out of your background fabric is 2 5 1/8 blocks. Now these ones are going to be the little setting corners on your different blocks, and you're going to need several of these, and you have to cut them into triangles as well. I am really good because I didn't bring that with me. So cut the first block. Okay, right down to there. You're going to cut these into quarters. You're going to get 4 little triangles. Try not to move that too much. That's where your rotating mat and your big ruler would come in, which is just not with me today. This one's a little easier because you can put your line of your ruler on there and come to the point, and you're making a 90-degree corner right there. Ta-da! Ta-da-da-da. So now you're going to cut that into 4 corners. Okay, so now we have 2 of those. I've already cut some up, so but that's what we would do to both of these blocks, is cut those into the quarters. Okay, so that's the background blocks that we need to use. And we'll cut those into quarters. You can use your right angle on the fabric to get those into the quarters. There we go. And we'll do one more. Square that along the line, take it to the point at the top, and cut. So we end up with all these little quarter triangles. Perfect. All right, so that's the cutting you do for your background blocks. Now, out of your colors, your fabrics, you are going to take each of these 4 fabrics and you're going to cut 2 different size blocks. The first block you're going to cut out of each of these is a 3.5-inch square. So there they are, because this is going to be your 9 patch, or the 4 patch, sorry, in the middle of your block. So you're going to cut each of the colors, you're going to cut 3.5-inch square. All right, so now from these ones, you also going to cut a 3.5-inch rectangle. So those are the ones that you're going to cut from your beautiful fabrics. Okay, so we have 3.5-inch square. We have a 3.5 by 6.25 rectangle. 6.5 rectangle. So 3.5 by 6.5. 3.5 by 3.5. All right, one square and 1 rectangle from each color. All right, so that's what you need for your project, all those little blocks cut out. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to build that block center. So you're going to take those center blocks and arrange them and decide which one looks nicest beside which one. And I kind of put the yellow beside the purple, so it's kind of Eastery, and I put the pink beside the blue. And I thought those were a nice combination. So then we just are going to do a 1/4-inch seam and sew the 2 sets of blocks together. And remember Chelsea's tack, pin the blocks. So we hold them along the side and we pin here to keep them nice and square. And then we do the same for this end, keeping it square, pin and pin them both together, and then do your 1/4-inch seam. Magically, I did that, and I pressed the seam to the dark side. So there's one, there's the other. All right, so that's what we do for our centerpiece. Now for the centerpiece, we're going to now nest these. So you'll see that when I did to the dark, one went one way and the other went the other way. So we want to arrange it so that they nest nicely together. In there and there. And then we'll pin that. on that seam. So we get that nice little square in the middle. Everybody lines up. Okay, and do that. And then we're going to make sure we pin these and we hold in place while we do our stitching. So we're making the little 4 patch in the center of our block. Make sure they all even and lined up like Chelsea used to. Now I have to be the keeper of the secret. Right, there we go. And we want to make sure that's even along the top. All right. Okay, now we're going to take our little 4 patch to the sewing machine and we're going to start to sew. And I have lost my stool, so I guess we're going to sew standing up. Are you ready? This is always fun. All right, so we're going to start at the 1/4 inch. I brought a Bernina today because that's what I started working on at home to make sure I got these things. So I wanted to make sure everything is equally exact as it was before. All right, here we go. We're just going to do a 1/4 inch seam using the 1/4 inch foot with a little 1/4 inch guide. Making sure everything's nice and smooth. I'm just going to stop and peek and make sure that I've got the little tails lying down so that we don't bend them backwards. I do that all the time. Sometimes I get a twisted seam. I have learned how to fix that twisted seam. Ooh, we got a little off track there. Little twisted seam a bit. We did that clipping in the apron one, and that worked really, really well. All right, make sure I don't run over my pin. And there's our 1/4 inch. Very good. And this one has scissors, which is lovely, which mine doesn't. There you go. So we've got our 1/4 inch seam. I went a little wiggly there. Just ignore it. I don't sew straight all the time. All right, so we're going to now take this back over to our iron. Oh, that's the me instead of the thing. And we're going to iron it. So we're going to press the seam. And then we're going to press it open. Now it doesn't really matter which side you're going to press to. It's going to be kind of darkish and lightish each direction. So we're just going to press our 4 square into place. All right, it's a little crookedy because I missed that seam just a tad, but we'll press that baby so he doesn't have to go away. There he is. Now, that is what we do with the 4 squares for the center. Now, each of the rectangles that we cut, we are going to attach one of those. Here they are. One of those setting squares. Okay, so here's the, oh, you know what? I did that wrong. I lied to you. Okay, so the 5.5 inch square we did cut into 2. It's the 5 1/8 one that we cut into 4 triangles. Or did I do that backwards? Let me read. 2 5 1/8 squares we cut in half. The 1 5.5 inch square we cut into 4 pieces. Okay, all right, there we go. So now these are our setting triangles. I've done 3 already. But what you have to do, because the triangle is so much bigger than your pieces, you have to find the center of each of the little triangle piece. And I'm just going to press with my finger and mark it and find the center of the rectangular block. Okay, just like that. And then I take the right sides together, match where we have that center line, and then we're going to sew that triangle onto the rectangle. So you're going to do that with all 4 of your rectangles. So you're going to take your 5 1/8 inch block that you cut in half as a triangle and sew it. You see that the end, there is a little triangle piece that sticks out the end. That's okay, because you know what? That's going to just disappear as we sew. We're going to trim anything that isn't there. So we take our rectangle, we put our 5 1/8 inch triangle that we've cut, and we're going to go back and sew. All right, back to the machine. Here we go. And of course, it's a 1/4 inch seam. Just going to start right on the edge, and away we go. Try to pay attention this time and not wiggle. All right, so 1/4 inch seam on our rectangles that were 3.5 by 6.5. We took the 5 1/8 block of background, cut it in two, and now we apply the two triangles to each other. We have to be a little careful because the triangle will stretch because it's on the bias, and it does give a little extra stretch. Okay, and just want to make sure we've got that under control. Do that too. Oh, there we go. And we do that. Okay, we sew that nice 1/4 inch, and you just sew right off. All right, beautiful. Cut it. So each of our little rectangles has now got a little house, a little triangle at the top. And they ask us to, oh, hi there, everybody. They asked us to press it to the rectangle side. I think that helps do the seam. So we're just going to press that triangle upward onto the block. There we go. Oop, oop, oop. Lovely. Okay, so we now made 4 little houses. I'll show you the other one in a minute because I already did something to it. All right, so now you have to take 2 of these and decide which one you want to do, and we're going to actually sew it onto our 4 patch. So I am going to sew the pink one on, and I'm going to sew, no, let's do the yellow one and the blue one. Nope, can't do that. Yellow and the purple, yellow and the pink, yellow and pink. Okay, so we're going to take the yellow and pink, and we're going to sew that onto the corner where it's yellow. We're going to stitch that down. So let's go do that. Okay. Okay, let's go stitch 1/4 inch. Here we go. Make sure our fabric isn't all bent up. Okay, here we go, 1/4 inch. Back to the big close up. Okay, here we go. Sewing 1/4 inch seam now. Our little house is going to be attached to our main 4 blocks. And you're going to attach the color that matches to the rectangle to the little block. We're going to go press it. Oh, so exciting today. Haven't told you any jokes yet today. And I lined up some real beauties. All right, let's cut that. Okay, so now we've got 1 house piece attached, and you see it's attached the yellow to the yellow. We're going to flip it around, and we're going to attach the pink to the pink block, okay, because I've got something special for the other ones. All right, let's stop for just a second and let's do a joke, because you know what? We can't live without jokes. So why, hi Maria McPhail. It's so nice of you to join me. She said she just rarely makes it to see us, so thank you for joining us. Here's a joke for you. Why are wolves like playing cards? Because they come in packs. Yay! And I got a question for all you people out here who are shoppers. How can you get 4 suits for under $2? Buy a deck of cards. I told you they were lovely. I told you those were great jokes. All right, so here, let's go back to our block. So we have our 4 little squares in the middle, 3.5 inch squares in the middle. We've taken our rectangular block, and we've sewed our little house triangle on the top, and we've matched yellow to yellow. So now on the opposite corner, we're going to take our pink one and sew it on there. So we're now, oh, you're off the screen so you can't see. We're going to sew it there. So now we have like a house on either end. Are you ready? Let's do that. And then I'm going to show you what you do with the remaining triangles. Just stitch this, make sure it's kind of even. We'll pin that baby, pin it, and pin it, okay, and pin it, and then we'll go and get that one sewn. Are you ready? Close up, here we go. 1/4 inch seam again. Right, and away we roll. I'm sorry about the blue thread, but I thought the blue thread will show up, because if I start matching with a nice color thread, you won't be able to see what I'm sewing. I just want to make sure that seam lays down. So yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, we're using blue thread so we can see. Not that you would use blue thread. Maybe when you put this together, you'd use something a little more neutral like the Athenas I was showing you. All right, close enough for horseshoes for me, and cut. So there's our 1/4 inch seam, and there's our other house. Okay, let's get that pressed. All right, over here to press this one. This is so much fun. This was a really cool block. And where did I get it from? I got it from the internet, believe it or not. It was on the internet, and I found it, and I thought, oh my gosh, that is so cute. So I'm giving it a try. So it's not my invention. I'm not sure exactly who invented this block. I'll give credit to whoever it is. I'm not sure. I just think it's a fun block. There we go. So it looks like we have part of our little thing. So now we have to get these 2 pieces on. So that's a little bit more sewing. So we made this piece, and we have all those little triangle setting blocks. Find the right colors. And we have to match up the right angle with the right angle. Ooh, get the right color here or we're going to be in trouble. The right angle with the right angle. And it goes right there, square on square, right? So it makes that long piece. So we're going to sew that onto there. Okay. Pin that. This is how you finish the other side of the block. So you're going to take those little blocks, the 5½ blocks that we cut into 4 little pieces, and we're going to apply the 2 of the pieces to each of our little house blocks. So, and just make sure you've got this rectangle doing the rectangle thing, right? That's beautiful, rectangle. You've got the square corner and the square corner. Beautiful. And you're going to sew down this side. Okay, so you're going to just attach the 2 little right angle triangles to your rectangle house block. All right, are you ready? Back to the sewing machine. Here we go, close up. 1/4 inch, and let's get ready. Yeah, this is why we heavily starch our fabric too, because that bias on the triangles will stretch a little, so we just want to make sure we keep it as straight as possible and not pull it. Okay, there's one side. Let's go and do the other side. Looks like I put my pins in the wrong way around for that side. We'll do it upside down. 1/4 inch. Off the 1/4 inch by a little bit. There we go. Okay, 1/4 inching along this side too. Take that pin out before I run over it. And you see how the little peaks get covered over there? Lovely. Stop and cut. So now each of those last 2 rectangles that were made into houses have a little like side arms on them, little gables out the side. All right, so let's take it over here and do some pressing. Hi. And let's press it. So we press the seam, and in her instructions, the lady tells us that we're going to press this toward the rectangle. So it kind of puts those guys down. Okay, and I'm going to do that to this side, press the rectangle down. And I have to press that nice and hard because we got that little corners there. First time I made this, I pressed them to the wrong side. but they were easier to trim off. All right, so now we have made 2 gables. We took those last 2 rectangles, 3.5 inch by 6. We added your 5 1/8 cut into a triangle to the tops. We took the 5 1/2 that was cut into 4s, and we put them on the corners. Are you ready? Now, of course, you can see how this is working out. The blue one will go on here now, and the purple one will stitch down here, and we will have our cord block. What do you think? I think that was kind of fun. Hi, Heleno. Thank you. She says I'm looking good. All right, so that's the last step we're going to do, is we're just going to take these little blocks. We're going to just pin them together now, and we're going to sew them. Just make sure we're kind of nesting in those corners that we meet up with. Pins, there we are. Looking good. Did I get this one all right? I didn't really nest it and didn't check, did I? I can see why they put them toward the dark side, because when you put them on, they then nest so nicely together. Okay, there we are. Pinning. It's got my hat in the road, I suppose. No, they did the last. Okay, so there. And then we're going to pin, don't pin that in there. We're going to put the other part up at this end. What have I done here? Yeah, right there. Okay. So let's do that. Pin that part. Good. I'm a little crookedy on my guy here. How did I manage that? Oh well, that's okay. We're going to put them together. All right, so this is the last piece that goes there. This is the last piece. There we go. And we're just going to sew these now on the 1/4 inch to make our block. And I started right off the peak on these guys. I know we're going to lose a little bit in our trimming, but I started way off to the side. And just do the 1/4 inch seam. I don't have much speed on my computer. There we go. Now we kicked it up a notch. Oh, this is where that turn is, so I just want to make sure I don't stitch over it going the wrong way. There we go. Stitching, stitching, stitching. I'm a little perfect. Good thing we're just doing a sample block. I'd be a little bummed. Sometimes it's hard to stitch in front of people standing up using your 1 foot on a pedal because you forgot your stool is always just a blessing. There we go. Looking good, everybody. Looking good. This card trick is almost over. You've been such a patient audience today doing a card trick. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, everybody. What else are we going to do on a rainy day like today? Come visit me at the store. That would be fun. I always like company. I like it when you guys come in and see me. It's cool. All right, we're finished with sewing our block together. All right. And there it is. All sewn together. I missed that a little bit. We won't look at that. All right, so what the finished block looks like, of course, is this. So we have managed to connect the purples together, the pinks together, the blues together, and the yellows together. And that's called card trick. Thank you. That was amazing. Yay. Thank you very, very, very much. All right, so that's card trick. And if I lost you somewhere along the line, please let me know and come and talk to me at the store or whatever. But that's how you make the card trick. All right. Got to tell you a couple more jokes, though. You know, I was in quarantine with a deck of cards. Everybody remembers that, right? I got to tell you, you could say I was in solitary confinement. And what's a crocodile's favorite card game? Snap. One last joke before I tell you anything else. Are you ready? Why couldn't the pirates play cards? The captain was standing on the deck. Yeah, that's right. All right, everybody. I've got a few announcements to make this morning that I'm hoping that everybody is listening, because we're doing some changes. And I'll let you know that next week we will be doing Monday Minute, which is me, and then unfortunately I am away for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week, so I will not be on doing Facebook or YouTube. And we're very excited to say our classroom is got classes running all that week, so it's going to be very busy. Anne is teaching, so you know, it's awesome that we have all those classes, but there won't be any programming for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We're going to be doing some changes upcoming April. So I know that's April 1st, April 2nd, and April 3rd. It really isn't an April Fool's joke, though. So I don't have any Facebook or YouTube on the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd of next week. I will be back the following Monday for Monday Minute after that. So we're doing it on the 31st, Monday Minute. And then we'll be back the next week. I think it's the 7th or 8th, whatever that next Monday is. And we'll be heading to the races for Facebook and YouTube at that time. And I will let you know we're changing things up just a little as my mustache falls off. So on Monday, I'll give you what's happening and give you a clear-cut picture of what we're going to do through the month of April. All right, perfect. So join me next week, Monday, for Monday Minute, and I'll get you up to date with what's happening. So the rest of this week, there is social sewing today and tomorrow, Thursday, Friday. And on Saturday, we have the satin stitch class for beginners. That starts at 10:30. So we will be sending out an email and then following that up with anyone who's doing satin stitch on Saturday, just to make sure you have everything you need so that you are ready to start with Anne when you come in. Doors open at 10, so come on in, get yourself set up. Class starts at 10:30 with Anne. All right. Just as a reminder too, this week and up to Monday the 31st, we have our spring cleaning sale going on. So that is the regular price cotton, quilting cottons on sale, 20% off for a minimum cut of 0.5, so half a meter. It's in stock and in store only, so come on down and visit us and get that 20% off. Now, if you find a bolt and you just love it and you take it all, we're going to give you 25% off for that. So keep that in mind. This is the last week of that sale. It ends Monday, the 31st. Also ending Monday, but all the rest of this week, it's Craft Your Way with Brother. So they've got some really good deals on the Print Moda, sublimation printer, and the Scan and Cut. So if you'd like to get in on that, you've got until Monday at 6 p.m. on the 31st. Okay, ongoing. Of course, we have our new look patterns on for 50% off until they're gone. Presentia thread is 30% off until they're gone. And of course, Bernina's sale, Spring into Savings, continues right till the 30th of April. So that's very exciting. Now, if you have a Bernina or Bernette that you purchased from us and have not done your new owner classes, please give us a call, because next week we'll be doing the Bernina new owners class. Sewing is April 1st and 2nd. That's Tuesday and Wednesday. Starts at 10:30. And then on the Thursday, we have the Bernina Bernette embroidery class, again starting at 10:30 and going this time till 4. So those classes, if you haven't got yourself into a class, this is a great time to do it. Give us a call at the store. Of course, you know it's My Sewing Room, 403-252-3711. We'd love to get you into those classes. All right. Going forward in the month, of course, we'll be doing the brother sewing, the brother embroidery, and the brother Bernina Burnett serging classes. Oh, such a busy month. We also have satin stitch, applique adventure, and Anne's new quilted jacket class. Oh, and don't forget, we have the rope jelly roll rug technique class going on. Oh my goodness, it is going to be so busy this month, so coming up in April. So I hope that you can join us, and I hope I didn't confuse you too much about this, but there's our beautiful block that we made today called Magic Trick. All right, everybody, I hope you enjoy the beautiful spring rain we're having. I hope it brings some really nice green grass to us. And I will say have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you on Monday, March 31st for Monday Minute. All right, everybody, have a good one. Just, know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. All right, have a wonderful time. Bye.